Yesterday, grade 3, the Lot, remember, chose this Abram. They were quarreling. Abraham and Lot were quarreling together. Not Abraham and Lot were not quarreling. Their servants were quarreling together. And so Abram said, you choose which way you want. If you go to the east, I'll go to the west. If you go to the west, I'll go to the east. And so then Lot went down here. He went close to Sodom. And we told that that Sodom was a wicked city. Well, today's story is about a war, and it's the War of the 9 Kings. In those days, kings were sort of king of one city. So there was one king of Sodom, there was one king of Gomorrah, there was one king of, let me see, I wrote them down. There was one king of Zebulun, one of Bela, one of Admah. There were 5 kings down here, and they were ruled by, I think they were over here. It was, now I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this, let me see, it's Chedorlaomer. He was the biggest king, and they were subject to these kings. There's 5 kings here, and there's 4 kings here. So for 12 years, these 5 kings in this area right around here, they gave tribute. It means they gave either animals or money to the 4 kings. But in the 13th year, they rebelled. They said, we're not going to pay it anymore. So these 4 kings, who are the big bosses, especially that person. I said it last night a whole pile of times. Chedorlaomer. He comes, and they come down, and they make a whole pile of impressive attacks on different people, including the Rephaim, which are giants. They come down, and they have this battle. We don't know exactly where the battle was. It was the Valley of Sidon. But we do know that there was all kinds of asphalt pits in there, and that some of those kings and some of the people fell in those tar pits, but then the rest got away. But that is of the people that were fighting there. But those 4 kings came into those towns, and they took everything. They plundered the cities. They took all the possessions, and they took all the people, which included Lot. So they took them, and they brought them, they carried them off. So there they all were. Lot was gone with all those 4 triumphant kings. Well, one of the servants runs, and who escapes. He runs and tells Abram, and he tells him, they've taken all our goods, and your nephew Lot, he's been taken too. Well, now we get a little glimpse of how rich Abram was. He had 318 trained servants. So he gets them all armed. He also tells he has some allies, which are Eshcol and Mamre and Nan. He gets them, and they probably have lots of servants too. And then they go and they pursue them. They pursue them all night. And they finally catch up to them way past something like here, and they come at them at night, and they manage to, with God's help, of course, they manage to conquer them and retake it all. And now they have all this booty and all those people that are back safe. On the way back, 2 people meet Abram. One of them is a very mysterious person. His name is Melchizedek. And you've probably heard the word Melchizedek. He is the king of Salem, and Salem is probably Jerusalem, and Salem means peace. He's a king of peace, and he's also a priest of the Most High God. So he's a king and a priest. And he's a priest of the king of the Most High God. And when he sees Abram, he says, blessed be Abram, for by the Lord God, and blessed be God who's delivered your enemies to your foes, and deliver your enemies into your hands. And he gives Abram bread and wine. And then Abram, he gives Melchizedek 1/10 of all the possessions he has. In the Bible later, we are taught that Melchizedek was a picture of Jesus, because whereas the priests later on came from Levi, not Melchizedek, Jesus came from what they call the order of Melchizedek. Then also the king of Sodom, he comes to Abram and he says, you could take all the goods, but we'd like to have the people back. And then Abram says, no, I've raised my hand to the Lord Most High that I will not even take a thread or a shoe strap from you, because I do not want you to say, I made Abram rich. He says, just what the young men have eaten, and my friends Eshcol, Mamre, and Nahon, they can take their share. And that is the end of that story.